Oh, there it goes. Hi, how you doing tonight? It is so fun to be back up here again, but especially with this topic, because it really was something that rang with me. It was something like just when I heard this, I'm like, yeah, I got to audition for that one. Because I believe that synchronicity is something that is 100% of your existence. Everything that happens, I believe, is because of what you're synchronized with and the frequency of your synchronization. Now, what's really cool is that in this room, right, everybody that's here tonight is here because they were synchronized with the concept of being here. You heard about this, or somebody told you about it, or somebody bought you tickets, but you came, right? And somehow it resonated with you, and you came here this evening. And so that shows that you're on the right path, in my opinion. Sorry, I'm having trouble with there it goes. Because in my opinion, the frequency, if you look at it like the band of frequencies, okay? You have very low frequencies and very high frequencies. Now I chose a couple world leaders, okay? I could have used a more current world leader, right? But I didn't want to create any problems tonight. But for me, it's really important to understand that both of these men were very talented, right? I mean, that's the truth. They're both very talented, but you had one that was all about hate and selfishness, right? I get very emotional. You have another one who's full of love and compassion, right? And did incredibly great things, and another man who did horrible things in basically the same time frame in history. So you can decide where on this band do you want to be, okay? I want to be Gandhi. That's me, right? I want to be Buddha. That's my goal. You want to know, that's my goal. I want to be Buddha. But you look again at the frequency, and there's the visual spectrum in the middle, and I think that's where most of us exist, all right? And thank God for that most of us don't exist in that very low frequency, right? But we do run into that, right? And that high frequency, you know it when you meet somebody, right? And you just know it. My mother, where is she? Hi, Mom. You know, my mother's one of those people. You know, and I talked about that last time too. Everywhere I go, it's like, oh my God, your mother is the greatest, you know? Oh, you're a VerKamp. Are you Athenaeum's boy? Oh, I just love your mother. But again, you know it when you meet these people, right? So part of my thought is, again, on how to become that person, right? How do you, where do I aim this thing? There we go. How do you get there? So, and for me, again, a big part of this is social media. Right? Because our resonance, our frequency resonates in social media. So if you are a negative person, let me not put it that way. If you're a low frequency person, okay, then that's what's gonna resonate, because Facebook knows you're a low frequency person, all right, and they're gonna feed you more of that because that's what you like, okay? That's what rings true to you, even if it's not. Right? There are many hate groups on Facebook, right? There are also many love groups on Facebook. Walk the Talk has a page on Facebook. Okay, that's a good one. When you react to things, you get more of that. So if you're reacting to things, even if they're negative things, you're going to get more of that. You're going to feel more negative about the world, and you're going to start, again, carrying that low frequency with you. So it's really important to consider with your social media, unfollow, okay? Cut the dead wood. All right? Reach up, not down. What does that mean? You see something cool, walk the talk, right? You follow it, you like the page, all right? If you see negative things coming through your feed, unfollow. You don't need it. It's not doing you any good. It's keeping your frequency low. Now, in my case, I escaped social media, okay? I escaped all media. As he mentioned, I moved to Peru about 12 years ago. And when I did move to Peru, all of a sudden there was just silence and calm, right? I didn't have TV, right? And when I was on TV, I didn't understand anyway, right? It was in Spanish, so it wasn't very entertaining. But that was a wonderful thing because it let me be calm. Now, the other side of that, as you mentioned, I started an organization that was trying to alleviate energy poverty. So that took me into these villages where there was no electricity, all right? If you can imagine never having electricity in your life, these were the happiest people in the world. I mean, incredibly happy. And I chose this photo because of the kids, right? And you can see how happy they are. You can also tell that that they appear what we would call poor. Okay, but that I would say they're probably the wealthiest kids out there. all right, because they have time, they have human connection, they have love, they're having fun all the time. But my favorite thing in this picture was this boy right here, and I didn't even realize it when I chose the picture. He has one shoe on. And look how happy he is. Can you imagine if I walked out here on stage with one shoe? Hi, guys, you know? It's amazing, but it really helped me, again, to come and to see a different perspective. And that's what I encourage all of you to do as you hear all of the speakers this evening. Try to take that perspective and figure out, why are we all so happy? You know, this is, again, it's amazing to me, again, what a group of love this is. Still haven't figured this thing out. So anyway, so there's my organization. So again, back to resonance, back to frequency. When I moved to Peru, again, I felt like I was on this path of a higher frequency. What I found was that attracted people, right, that were also resonating at a higher frequency. So engineers would come from all over the world, and they would volunteer their time and money, right, to participate in this and build a wind generator for a school that doesn't have electricity, or for a community that doesn't have electricity. It was just amazing to me. But again, this resonance, right, also came back to me. I became a better person with each one of them that came because I felt like I had to live up to what they thought of me. So this grew, and it went on, and I spent about 8 years doing this. We've had about 350, well, now probably about 400 engineers. You can imagine I would fill this room that have come, and it's still, again, biggest group ever is actually there in Peru right now. Sorry. But I want to emphasize, again, it wasn't me. It's the residents, right? So in the last, what happened is that some people came that were real serious, and they stayed. Okay, one guy, he came for 2 months. He has a master's in engineering from Virginia. You're a young guy, right, in his 20s. And he comes, and 2 months later, he goes, I want to stay. That's what happened to me when I went. I was going for 6 months, right? And at that point, I'd been there for about 7 years. So, yeah, it happens, you know. Sorry, Mom, I'm back, okay? So he comes, and he's like, you know what, this is awesome, I want to stay. You know, and I'm like, you know, I'd been looking for somebody to be a director that was younger, had a little bit more energy than me, and all of that. And that also freed me up as he took responsibility, and the other two, Jessica and Ross, they took responsibility. And I started to sort of get involved in shamanism in Peru. It piqued my interest. So I started to look at that. Now that was an important, very important process for me, because it showed me, again, my highest frequency, all right? I'm not at that highest frequency right now, but it showed me the connectivity that I have with every living being, with every one of you in the room tonight. You know, when I say brother to my friends, I'm not saying, I mean that, okay? We are all connected. Everything, we're all breathing the same air tonight. You know, think about that, the same air. All right? The same water that runs through the river. We are connected to every single thing. So this was an important part of my journey. Now there's other ways to get there, right? There's meditation. Some people find it in their church. You know, you'll find it on whatever your path is, you'll find it. But again, you got to seek those higher frequencies. I'm going to run over my time, but I'm going to blame this, okay? So anyway, about 2 years ago, well, 2.5 years ago, decided it was time to move back to the United States. Now, the hippie sitting there in front of the cool building, that's me, right? The other guy is the realtor that I want to become here in the United States, right? Huge transition. And I'm also thinking, I'm coming back again, high frequency, right? And I'm coming back and I'm thinking, oh, the United States, right? I mean, that's what I was thinking. So I talked to a friend of mine, and he's an Uber driver, all right, in Seattle, and he tells me, man, you got to do Uber. And I literally said, what's Uber? I had no idea. So he explained it to me, and I'm like, that sounds fun. I'll be able to get to know the neighborhoods. I'll get to meet people. So I come back, right, get a car, sign up for Uber. I have had 10,000 riders in my car in the last 2 years. Yeah, and I only drive on weekends. busy weekends. No, but it is amazing to me. And again, it gave me the opportunity to sort of, again, adjust and figure out my frequency and their frequency. Same thing, reach up, not down, right? I've met amazing people, right? And I've learned incredible stories. One of my favorites, a very simple one, a guy had an empty cup. And I said, that's a terrible way to start the night. And he said, man, he said, that's my cup of hope. I'll never forget it, my cup of hope. I will never have an empty glass again. So another story is that one night I'm driving, I get a Lux call, and I go and pick up this guy. Hi, my name's Steve, my son Chris, super nice, driving down, they're going downtown, and he explains on his phone to his wife that he had a flat tire, so he had to take an Uber, right? So I hear the story, and after I got done on the phone, I said, sir, I'll tell you what, I'll pick up a can of Fix-A-Flat, all right? And I'll give you a ride back home after the game. He's about 70 years old. I said, and I can help you out with your tire, right? So anyway, so of course, they go to the game, I get the Fix-A-Flat, I pick the guy back up, and I drive him home, and as we're going to his house, I said, you know, again, sir, I'd be glad to come in and help you do your tire, and especially didn't have his son with him. And he said, you know what? I said, that'd be great. Now, I'm skipping part of this story because when I said I'd buy the can of Fix-A-Flat, he said, how much is it? And I said, I don't know, probably $5, don't worry about it. He said, no, I insist. So he puts $20 on the center thing. I'm like, cool. So anyway, so make a long story short, when I bought the Fix-A-Flat, I realized he'd give me $80, all right? So I knew that I had done the right thing. That was the universe, thank you, universe, because I was offering to help, right? And I was rewarded for that. So I take the man to his house, and I fix his tire while the compressor is running. He invites me into his house. Now, how many of you would invite the anonymous Uber driver into your homes, right? And this isn't just any house. This is about a 16,000 square foot house. Now, remember, I'm a realtor, right? So I know this. So he takes me in, and he shows me around, and he shows me in the study this beautiful oil painting, right, of a horse. And he said, that's Tommy Sue's Delight. Now, his name is Steve, and her name is Tommy Sue. Most of you can probably figure out who I was driving that night. Now, I have to say, I ended up driving them the next weekend as well to an event. But the point being, again, resonance, right? Because I put myself out there, right? He put himself out there, invited me into his home, and made friends with me. And I thought it was, again, really significant. Because also, if you had told me to have lunch with that gentleman tomorrow, I would not have, based on the stories I'd heard in the media, right? But they are incredible, nice people. But anyway, there's another 9,998 stories that I don't have time to tell you. But I have to say it's been a wonderful experience, and I do wonder if I have any writers in the room tonight. Part of my frequency, when you get in my car, all right, you'll see I have a Buddha that sits up there by the radio, right? So immediately you know, right, oh yeah, he's one of the New Age guys, right? Starts conversation, all right? It's small, but it's again, a strong hint. I also have the walk the talk sticker on the back. So, of course, occasionally, generally it's people who are, again, a little higher frequency, they'll say, oh, what's walk the talk? That sounds cool. You know, I got them then. They're in the car, right? They got to listen to me for 15 minutes. So I have practiced this speech on 9,000 riders in my car. But the point being, again, put the signals out there too. Always be reaching higher. Always looking for that conversation, looking for that connection, right? With people who are going to help elevate your thinking. Sorry. And again, I like to think I'm the one with the colored brain, just so you know which one's me. But another part of this, again, has been eye contact, right? I get out of the car, I open the door, right, for them, and they get in the car, right? Now, why do I do that? Eye contact, all right? I want to look them in the eye. I want to make that connection so we can have a real conversation. And if all they see is the back of my head, my gray hair, they're probably not going to have that conversation. But I think it's so important, again, to connect with people. Right? Now, you might be that colorful brain, and they might be the blue one, right? But you might be the blue one, and they might be the colorful brain as well. So a lot of times there's an opportunity to learn from people like the man with a cup of hope that will really, really just change your day. Highest frequency is so simple. It's love. Again, love and compassion, as I said in the beginning, right? Lowest frequency, hate and selfishness. If you find yourself thinking in a hateful or selfish way, hating anybody, anything, even the people that you think you should hate, all right, go back to the other side. Find the compassion. Understand that they might not be in their journey, right, where you are today, right? But help them get there, that one little step, that one little step. Raise their frequency, right? But most importantly, raise your own. Because it's the only way that you will resonate like a singing bowl and have a room of 400 people that want to make the world a better place and make an epic change. Sorry, there it is. So keep calm, raise your vibration. Thank you so much for tonight. Thank you.